All right, guys, what's up with y'all? Today we got this is why the Thunder are so good. Now, if y'all watch the NBA, y'all know how the OKC Thunder has been on a come up for the last 5 years, bro. This team is dangerously scary, bro. They won the chip last year, man. They're looking like to repeat. Now, I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to see the Thunder win again, bro. But if they do win this season again, I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't not mad, but I wouldn't be surprised because of how good they are and how they did the rebuild process. They brought the right pieces around SGA and stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if they win again. But I personally don't want to see them win again. You know, my favorite team is the Celtics. I know y'all will probably feel some type of way about that, but that's just been my team. I've always rocked the Celtics since I was, a teenager. So, but besides all that, bro, I got a video by Aim Hoops. We're gonna check it out, see how it is, bro. And yeah, man, we about to check this video out. And yeah, let's do it.
So the Thunder had a good start, but there was an asterisk. Oh, 10-1, congrats. But look at that schedule. A lot of Dallas, Clippers, Kings, Pelicans.
But look how easy the schedule is, though. Look at this. They got Kings, Pelicans, Clippers. These are all teams that are like worst teams in the West, especially the Mavericks. But they're they're 15th in the West. Got Clippers they've been doing bad right now. Like their schedule's low-key been kind of easy, but hey, bro. OKC, man.
Is OKC that good? Well, then came a back-to-back that was supposed to tell the truth. Golden State one night, then the Luka Lakers next. No rest against veteran star teams to push the young Thunder. Instead, they pushed Golden State and LA off a cliff. They didn't just win, they embarrassed people. JJ Redick stormed out of a press conference after losing by 20.
JJ Redick, bro. Is it crazy to say that JJ Redick was the coach that the Lakers needed, though? Like, in the beginning when he first got hired, I honestly thought he had, because keep in mind, before he got hired, he had no coaching experience. So I thought, this guy, JJ Redick, was not going to be able to lead his team anywhere. But he's been doing really good so far, That's that basketball mind that he has, bro. Like, he's really, intelligent when it comes to basketball, man. So, it's crazy. But he's been a good coach for the Lakers so far, bro. I'm going to be honest. He's been really good for them.
9. Warriors lost by 24. Draymond just starts calling out his teammates' personal agendas. But ironically, this reminds you of a team Draymond was a part of. The KD Warriors had solved the NBA so bad, half the league just stopped trying. They were like, look, even if we get way better, we're still not going to beat those guys. So what is the point? But here's the kicker. OKC is one of the most banged up teams in the league. These are all regular rotation players missing chunks, including their second best guy, J-Dub, all season. If this,
but that's crazy because they were missing all these players and they're still 12 and I don't know the exact how they are, but I know they're 12 and 2 or something right now. So the fact that all their key players been missing games and they're still winning. Bro, that's just crazy, bro.
Missing chunks, including their second best guy, J-Dub, all season. If this were most teams, they would be screwed. But OKC looks like the next great NBA dynasty. And some say the greatest team of all time. But I've had so much fun playing prize picks this. More go with the grind in California than using lineups and how they are doing this. The GOAT NBA team, really. Defense is their calling card, and OKC is nothing historically. There's 40 teams better. But the top 4 there are all from the same year, so obviously era's got a lot to do with that. But what about compared to this year? OKC is number 1 by a mile. You do not see gaps that big. They dominate on both ends so bad. They beat teams by an average of 15.5 points. That would shatter the previous record, 12.9, set by OKC last year. So yeah, they won the title and came back even better. But to be the GOAT team, we all know you have to win at least 73 games, beating the 96 Bulls, and win the title, something the 2016 Warriors could not do. Well, this Thunder team is on pace for 75 wins. My goodness. Now, I don't think they're actually going to get there because what's the point, right? You hit some random number, 73 wins. Everyone's all excited. Then possibly you run out of gas in the playoffs. No, rest your guys, which Sam Presti is too smart not to do. But speaking of the Thunder GM, he's got a problem. One that you almost never see in the NBA.
Is it crazy to say that we might see OKC versus the Pistons in the finals, bro? Keep in mind, the Pistons has been playing really good, bro, lately. They're number 1 in the East, bro. Keep in mind, this team used to be 15th in the East 2 years ago, bro. The fact they're they're even won in the East within the last 2 years, bro. Yo, Pistons are another team to watch out for, bro. Don't be surprised if they make it all the way to the finals. That's another team to watch out for, bro. You know, I know my Celtics, they're not, right now we don't have Tatum, so obviously we're not going to be, top 5 or even competing. But, Pistons are doing good too, bro. I think, bro, Pistons versus OKC, that will be a finals to watch, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Teams are only allowed to carry 15 active players, and the Thunder have been losing guys. Like Vic Krejci, they couldn't keep him. So now he's in Atlanta dropping 28 on the Clippers, hitting 8 threes like it's nothing. Trey Mann leaves, puts up double digits a night in Charlotte. Josh Giddey, a man they couldn't find playoff minutes for, just earned $100 million in Chicago. And the craziest part to all of this, if the season ended today, OKC would have 2 top 10 draft picks. What are they gonna do with those kids? What current players are they gonna have to drop to bring those kids in? Now, okay, they're probably not gonna have 2 top 10 picks. Okay, Utah is gonna tank to keep their pick. And the Clippers could make a move, but 1 top 10 pick is not off the table. But that's where this problem actually flips into a long-term superpower. Because in this new second apron era, the best way to keep your dynasty going is simple. Keep the stars, churn the depth, and replace talent for cheap talent before it gets expensive. And the Thunder are built in a lab for that model. SGA, Jalen Williams, and Chet locked in. Everything else around them constantly refreshed for pennies on the dollar. It's like Sam Presti saw into the future to build a 10-year dynasty. Take this kid AJ Mitchell.
Bro, I can't be mad at OKC, bro. They planned everything out right for them to be this good, bro. Like, I can't even hate on them, bro, for real. Like, bro, the fact that they, like, their ownership and front office know what they're doing, bro. They know they know how to build this team to last for years, bro. Like, they got the right pieces around SGA, bro. Like, honestly, OKC they might repeat, bro. I don't lie. Even though I don't want them to, they might, just because of how good they are, bro. So, and the support system they have around them, man, it's just crazy, bro.
For example, he was a G League 2-way rookie last year. Starts because of injury now, averaging 17 points, 4 boards, and 4 assists with 2 steals. Where do they find these people? And he's making $3 million a year? This isn't fair. So that's what they are doing to dominate the NBA. But how are they doing it? Well, this is what makes OKC so good. To start, 0 defensive weak links. And by the way, J-Dub, haven't had him all year, probably their best, most versatile defensive player. Now, OKC emphasizes mobility and speed on defense. They're very aggressive in gaps, and they shrink the floor with all 5 guys. It's like they're all playing with one mind on defense. Like here, as Curry turns the corner off the screen to his left, look how literally all 5 OKC defenders shrink down towards the paint. Then when the ball gets kicked out, they have no problem recovering with that speed and mobility to get themselves matched up again. Same concept here. Butler drives down toward the paint. OKC collapses, shrink the floor, and then they can again leverage that speed to recover, force terrible offense. But what takes this team to another level is personnel. And the first guy we have to talk about is Kason Wallace, a guy Nico Harrison traded out of Dallas, by the way.
Yo, Nico Harrison, bro, I ain't gonna lie, probably the worst GM in NBA history. How do you trade generational, like, not just Luka in general, but like players, key role players to help build the team? Like, how do you just trade all that away? Like, bro, I feel like he was doing it. Like, man, Nico Harrison, bro, one of the worst GMs in American history, bro, in NBA history, bro. There's no way you trade away a superstar, bro. And this is not even sorry to be rambling, but like that's anytime I hear this man's name, all I think is about how bad of a GM and how he literally gave up Luka for nothing, bro. It's just, man, that's another thing, bro.
Effectively guarded Ja, Steph, Jimmy, and held Luka to 19 points within like a week. And they bring Alex Caruso off the bench. His minutes have been limited so far, but whenever he's on the court, his impact is felt. Elite skills on and off the ball defense. And like Wallace, he can hold his own very well in isolation against top tier scorers. And by the way, this is why a great team can be considered boring, okay? Like, you know the Spurs dynasty? Yeah, they were all about defense too. People called them boring. ring, okay? There's the flashy team, Jordan, Kobe, and Shaq. That stuff is fun. This stuff is just blue-collar basketball. So SGA has leveled up too. His impact isn't quite as big as the two previous guys there, but he does have great length and foot speed on the ball, plus defender. And along with all that backcourt and wing depth, OKC also has Chet and Isaiah Hartenstein hovering around the basket. Holmgren, one of the best rim protectors in the league. But before we get to their offense, you have to acknowledge Chet and Hartenstein switchability. They defend on the perimeter, which makes finding a weak spot in this defense virtually impossible, which means all of OKC's vulnerabilities stem from their offense. And coming into this year, I thought they had two main weaknesses: inconsistent shooting and ball handling. Like very shade dependent last year, dude's usage rate was 33.6, more than Jalen Brunson and Luka Doncic, which is why the finals went to 7 games. The Pacers exploited that, if you remember, wore him down, full court pressure, right? That forced J-Dub to have big games in games 4 and 5, which saved them. So going into this,
bro, speaking of the last year's finals, bro, if Tyrese Halliburton didn't tear his Achilles, bro, I ain't gonna lie, we could have had a generational Game 7, bro. Like, bro, Tyrese Halliburton was going off already. He already had, like, I think, was it 7 points within 3 minutes or something like that, bro? He was about to have a generational game, bro. Like, I looking for, like, if Tyrese Halliburton never tore his Achilles, the Pacers would have won the finals last year, but man, it's just crazy, bro, how injuries could just turn your whole season around, bro. It's just wild.
Here, because OKC was missing that secondary ball handler with J-Dub being out, I thought it might get off to a bumpy start. But AJ Mitchell, baby, a second-year G League two-way guy saves the day. So OKC, not a 3-level killer like J-Dub or Shea, but he can take a lot of responsibility as a creator out of pick and roll, and the pace and handle to break down the defense, put pressure on the rim. He's given Shea fresh legs to play with the team in the half court. So when J-Dub does come back, the Thunder are now going to have 3 more than capable ball handlers. Now, the only nitpick I have is their 3-point percentages, still kind of low, bottom 10 in the NBA. But despite that, OKC still has a top 5 offense. So right now, the only team that has a prayer of beating them is the Denver Nuggets. Nikola Jokic, literally playing the best ball of his life, just moved up to first in MVP, by the way. But we would still all pick the Thunder. So no matter how good any team is, feeling good about yourself, you better not play OKC. But one team who actually wants to lose right now is the Mavericks. Now that Nico Harrison is gone, they're not on his timeline. It's all about Cooper Flag. So tank, but more importantly, nail this Anthony Davis trade, because Cooper Flag's future depends on what they get back.
All right, guys, that should be it. Well, man, my final take is OKC, bro. I ain't gonna lie, with how built their team is, I think this team has a good chance of repeating. Now, I can't even hate on them, bro. Like, they're a young star, they're a young core. Like, they just, you know, they have everything planned out for them, bro. Like, they really this is like, for them, it's like, they're like the dream team you want to be in the NBA, bro. Like, you don't want to be spending millions of dollars on players that are like injury prone or like are too old. You gotta have like a young core and like really invest in that young core, bro. That's the only way you're really gonna win in this new NBA, bro. You know. So, but yeah, man, that's it for the video, guys. WAM Hoops video, man. Trying to break down why the Thunder is so good, you know. So, but yeah, guys, besides that, I think that should be it. And I'm going to catch you guys later. All right. Peace, y'all. I'm going to see y'all later. Peace.